This podcast is just for fun. It's all fake. Don't believe us. Look, do your own research.
We tried to touch it with our big toe.
Christmas. Welcome
to
the
show.
Nope. Show.
It's okay.
Woo!
It was almost there.
That was probably really confusing for our listeners because there's all of a sudden a new voice and then nothing.
And then nothing,
and then Courtney pops in. And
Chaotic Christmas.
Yep.
Merry Christmas.
We like to keep
Merry
it chaotic.
Christmas.
Merry
Do you wanna say
Christmas.
Merry
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Tapas Swissmas. The Office. Anyway, the Office people
Merry
got that.
Crisis.
They got that. Anyway,
Merry Chrysler.
this week we're joined by a special guest.
Yep.
Bennett is back. He wanted to come down and hang out, and we figured, you know what, it's a Christmas episode, might as well. And then the man,
His head is now between me and the mic, so he's completely commanding my mic.
that's all right. He's like, I'm in charge now, Mom. Okay, me and him
You
were
might
wearing.
not hear from me.
Bennett and I are wearing matching Bucky's shirts. He wanted to wear them to church today, so we did. And so I got some comments like, "Why are you wearing a Bucky's shirt to church?" And I was like, "Bro, when my son says, hey, Dad, we're gonna match shirts, we match shirts, okay?"
Like I do what I want.
And then our other special guest is the man with the stash that knows no ends.
I gotta go.
Yeah. I don't know what else to call him. Just the mustache man.
The mustache.
Maybe. Not the mustache man that we talk about, but
different
this
mustache
one's way
man.
cooler.
His mustache looks better than the mustache.
You know,
man's
we all
mustache.
think like in the jiu-jitsu world, we all think his mustache has magic powers. We feel
It does.
we get
It does.
if we touch it while we're rolling, while we're wrestling, and we get magic powers.
It's like a magic lamp, but it's his mustache.
Yeah. Now the real
I
challenge.
haven't said his name yet.
I know.
We tried to touch it with our big toe. That's the real challenge.
Oh,
I will say, it's only happened once. I will say that.
Only one.
Oh man. But anyway, so the mustache is not the mustache man, but he is a mustache man.
Yeah.
Like, he's not the Antichrist, but he's an Antichrist. He's not the mustache man, but he's a mustache man. Anyway,
Welcome, Camden.
Yeah, Courtney and I's nephew and Mike's son, Camden.
Yep.
Welcome to the show, dude.
Yeah. It was kind of a pop in the moment type of thing.
Yeah.
We love that.
Eat the mic just a little bit more.
Just a little more. There we go.
Yeah, right there. That's good.
Yeah, he's home from college, and I was at home, and I was like, "Hey, you want to come up and hang out in Chadron?" And he's like, "Yeah," and I was like, "You want to do the podcast?" He's like, "Sure."
Yeah.
And here we are.
Here we are. That sounds good. All right.
Mom,
Yes.
move over right there.
You need to move it.
He saw me moving
Yeah, there we go.
Mike's.
Is that better?
Gonna make sure the
Okay.
mic's in the right spot.
So
Oh, here
I
it
didn't
is.
know
Yeah.
this about Camden. As much as he's in the weight room, I'm a little surprised that he has never done this. But you can, the listeners know.
He's kind of a purist.
What's about to
He's
ready to
like-
come
he's
up.
like as natty as natty
Moroccans.
gets in the weight room.
Yeah.
Okay.
No pre-workout, nothing. Straight
So
raw.
we're gonna end.
Did you almost say raw dogging?
Don't say that.
Don't say that.
That's bad.
I can't
That's
say
bad.
that.
I can't stand when kids say that.
Oh my gosh, it does not mean what you think it means.
No.
Does not mean what you think it means.
Yeah.
All right, so pop the top. Take a decent. Don't put your nose in it.
Or
Unless you really want to. If you want the full experience, put your nose in it and take
Don't
a deep
leave it
breath.
open in the
take
back
it
of your
easy.
car.
Just take it easy.
Take it easy. But take a good deep breath. Don't test it because your body won't let you. No face?
No face.
Bro!
I know he's bragging. I'm not even going to make a face.
Oh,
He made a face.
He made a face.
that
made a
burns.
face.
That really burns.
Wakes you up though. How you feeling?
Not good. Honestly, worse.
Give it like 5 seconds. Your adrenaline will kick through.
No, I'm okay.
And then my eyes tear
I'm
up.
all right.
And then, I'm drinking the raspberry cream ghost.
That sounds good. Can I have a sip?
Yes, of course. But I'm going to open it.
Ooh, that had like stages.
Yeah. But it's the can is red and white, so I figured Christmas.
Yeah, that's cool. So I went with the tropical tundra freeze.
Oh, that's good.
Or frost C4.
Want it?
I was thinking
'cause
snow and frost, but
frost.
also tropical because it's
yeah.
it's like 50 degrees outside, 55
I like
degrees.
that.
It's
That's
nice
good.
out.
Yeah.
So
I do like the flavor of that.
It kind of reminds me of like you remember those the cream
was Chris.
cream savers.
It was good. Yes.
Remember that? That's what it tastes like.
Yes. Those little cream savers that mom always had like 5 billion
Like
of.
strawberry cream.
You know what I'm
Or
talking about?
some
That's kinda what
raspberry.
this tastes like.
They're one of my favorite. That's
pretty good.
That's what it tastes like.
yeah,
That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
that's good.
this one
I do like it.
punches you right in the gills, man.
All right, let's hear your crane keck.
It's strong.
All right. I just got
Camden-
Pacific Punch Monster. Here we go.
That's one of Phil's favorites, I think.
The monsters never
That was a good.
disappoint.
That was a good
was like-
technique.
Monsters,
Noise.
those monsters never disappoint.
They don't.
Very,
They're
very
so
foamy.
good. Which is weird because they don't have carbonation, so you don't get the.
Yeah, that was not even carbonated.
But the crack
Just
is
the
so
juice one.
good.
Yeah, just the juice one.
All right. It's time for our positive Bigfoot affirmation of the week. This one is number 5, and it says, "Stay wild, stay free."
Yeah.
Interesting. Stay
Bennett's like,
wild.
no
stay
problem.
Born to be wild.
I like the
Bennett.
stay
Bennett
free
knows.
part of it.
Do you know that song yet?
Do you know that song?
No.
Okay, can you? Hey,
It's coming up next.
do you want to sing into the mic, Crazy Train?
No.
Come on, bud. Come on off the rails.
No.
No. Okay.
No.
It's funny because he's like, as soon as we get ready to record, he's like, I'm going down. I'm going to record. I'm doing all the things. And then we get him down here and he's shy. But he's not.
I think it's because
shy
we're
until
asking
we
him
get
to do stuff.
That's true.
Yeah.
He'll chime in
That's
every
true.
once in a while on his own.
Yeah, on his own.
We
Yeah,
just
you're
gotta
right.
let
You're
him
right.
let
You're
it
right.
be
You're right.
natural over there. Too much pressure.
Let him be
like
free.
me.
Yeah, let him
much
be free.
pressure.
Yeah.
Ouch.
It's like when I catch Phil off guard and I'm like talking. I'm like, "What do you think, Phil?" And he's
Daddy.
like, you know,
Yeah.
just catch him off guard.
Yeah. What do you think, Cam?
Yeah, Camden, what do you think about that?
Yeah.
See,
Yeah. Okay.
In the ancient days of giants, when the earth was wild and free, a creature roamed the valleys, cloaked in mystery. Is he born of angels' blood and man, a Nephilim so tall, or a shadow of the fallen, yet heeding the Maker's call? He's a biblically accurate Bigfoot, with a lineage from the skies. Not a myth or legend, but a truth that never dies. Is he a remnant of the Nephilim, a titan standing tall? Or does he have the word of God upon him, the last to hear the call?
Current event news, just to catch people up. Even though it's Christmas, I got a few that I wanted to get into today and make sure that it's recording because at that one time,
It's got
the
you
one
all-
time that
got
we,
you all nervous,
the one
man.
time that we forgot to hit record, and I'm like,
Did I tell you about that,
check it.
Camden? We were what? Like we were almost 10 minutes.
We were
in.
at least 10
We were
minutes
going after this topic, and like we realized we weren't recording, so we had to start over.
It could have been so much
and
worse.
pretend like it was new information. It was
And in that 10 minutes was like a heartfelt thank you appreciation.
Oh,
It was good. So we had to redo that.
And it was like, oh gosh, for the biblically accurate Bigfoot shirts that we were given. And I was like, I know this doesn't sound as heartfelt the second time because it's like I don't know. It's like when you repeat something, it feels faked. It feels rehearsed rather than just authentic.
Well, so that's funny. So you talking about that when Caleb, our oldest son,
Did you just sniff the mic?
proposed
No.
to his girlfriend.
yeah.
And, we went to Colorado. It was beautiful. It was Christmas time, lights, things like that. Right.
Dad?
So Beth, my wife, she was so excited, and she's getting ready to record this proposal, and she pulls up her phone and records it. And then she goes to look at it, and she realized she was recording on the walk up there. And when she hit record, she turned it off.
Oh no.
So like nothing happened. Caleb and his fiance, they jumped right back in and just reenacted the whole thing. Like you can't even tell that they did that. They did it so well, and the surprise and oh my god, it was so perfect, like perfectly redone.
Oh man,
it was impressive. It was impressive, but it's one of my favorite stories because it was so funny that she was like. I recorded the walk up here, but
I feel like I've done that before. It's an honest mistake.
That just reminds me of that episode of The Office where Pam's supposed to record the Christmas program or whatever her daughter's in and stuff. And then Jim's like, just make sure you pay attention and do it right. And she's like, I can point a rectangle, Jim. And then she ends up missing the whole thing. And yeah.
Yep.
No, there are moments like that. Yeah.
Absolutely.
You are squirmy, sir.
Also, we just got back from vacation.
Right. Which is what I haven't been on my phone like at all.
Yeah. So I'm actually surprised I have some current events just because I haven't really been on my phone a whole lot. But I did catch there was a confirmed former CIA agent who blew the whistle that the CIA officially has hitmen who their job is to take out assets, and they have an actual hit list that they do a weekly roundup, and the hitmen get this hit list and then they go and do the hit list. It's an actual thing.
Yeah.
It's not just
it doesn't surprise. It's very
right. It's not surprising.
John Wick, very John Wick.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't surprise us. But the fact that the CIA just like a CIA agent just straight up confirmed it is wild to me.
But think of all these like high profile accidental quote unquote deaths that everybody's been like, that's fishy. And then now they're like, yeah, it was a little fishy.
The car deaths.
Yeah.
All of a sudden people dying at over speeds of 100 miles an hour plus. And it's like, that seems fishy to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause like, two things. One, but that's the thing is like if it's like a real situation, you just pop it into neutral.
Right.
But if it's not, the computer could override your ability to put it into neutral, and you're just gonna wreck. Yeah. But I feel like in that moment, if your car is all of a sudden accelerating, the last thing I would do is just chill. You know, like I'm
sit back.
I'm like shutting the car off, putting it in reverse, like flip it in reverse as hard as you can. Just drop the transmission out of so people can at least see that like I was trying to stop this car. You know what I mean?
So when I was a teenager, me and my best friend, we used to borrow our grandma's LTD because it was a fun car because it was a huge Lambo, and the gas pedal got stuck. One time we're driving like in front of the middle school in Alliance, and the gas pedal gets stuck, and so he's stomping on the brakes, and we're just spinning in circles, smoke everywhere, panicking, not knowing what to do, and finally we reached over and just turned the ignition off, and I was like, oh, because we were just spinning in the middle of the road. So you would think, but in that moment, it's hard to tell how you'd react and what you'd do.
That's true. If you hear random toy sounds, your house isn't haunted. Our son has decided he has
He said, I'm done.
play with his kitchen set right
Yes,
now, and he
he's
doesn't want to go back
playing
upstairs.
downstairs.
So rather than fighting him right now, we're just going to let him because it's
Yeah.
Christmas, and I don't care. So
Yeah.
So put up with it. Sorry about it. Anyway.
Like, sounds like a
Joyful
little Santa's
noise.
elf in the background building toys.
Yes.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, there you go. That's
Background
positive.
sounds.
Yeah. In my messy basement.
Another thing going on is, did you see the flooding in the Northwest?
Oh yeah.
I didn't.
Like
They got
Pacific
like 2 feet of
Northwest.
rain in like a day or something like that. Like it was like a lot.
There was a lot, and it's kind of like
For a place that
in
gets a lot of
Texas
rain.
a while
Yes.
back. Yeah, that's true,
for a
'cause
place
they
that
get-
gets a
they
lot
get
of rain,
Yeah.
Well,
this was like
I hadn't even
a
heard
lot
of it.
for them.
Yeah.
I hadn't even heard of it, but since we give to Convoy of Hope, I get regular emails from them, and I got an email saying like, blah blah blah. See where we're active right now in the Pacific Northwest from the flooding, and I was like, what flooding? And I looked, and they already had like people on the ground helping out with stuff, and I'm like, how did this happen?
That's
First of all,
interesting, 'cause I didn't see anything about it either. Why are
and
they
so
keeping this
we
one
didn't
so
know
under
because we were
wraps? Like,
we were on vacation. B, like our phones were not getting great service like the whole time we were there. It was kind of weird.
it was
And
so-
then I was like, did we just like miss this? But no, everyone who I've seen posting about it is like, this is getting no national coverage, considering it's like the whole central and western part of the
weird.
state, which we've been to
I'm gonna check the
those
pizza
parts of the
index.
state, but
apparently,
There's
we
like-
don't need any distractions right
there's
now.
like 100,000 people displaced.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a lot. Well, and then on top of that, when we were down in Springs, there was that wind event.
Oh, the wind was crazy. Even
Dude,
there.
okay. Oh, okay. We haven't told you guys this. Okay. So we're driving back from Colorado Springs and we get past Wellington, and all of a sudden the interstate, it's shut down, and they have a sign up that says interstate closed, turn around. And I was like, no detour, no nothing, like nothing, just turn around. So I was like, all right, so we'll just take one of the frontage roads, not a big deal. Cause it's probably, my thought was wind. They'll probably just trying to prevent semis from going through. No, they closed the frontage roads too. And so I was like, okay. And so our GPS was like, I don't know what to do, dude. Like literally our GPS was like, there's a dirt road here. Like it literally is like, almost like, I mean, obviously not that like casual, but it's
Right.
we found a route, and I'm like, oh, yeah, let's do it then. And so we go down, and it's like a few hundred feet further than the frontage road, there's a dirt road. So we're on the dirt road. There's nothing on either the frontage road or the interstate. There's no wreck, no nothing, no tipped over semis, nothing. And then we get down past, and then where the frontage road flips over to the other side, and the GPS is like, now take the frontage road. And I was like, I can't, dude. Like, give me a different route. And the GPS is like, turn around. I don't, like, literally, it's like, it loops itself.
Yeah.
And so it gets stuck. And it's like, it has like a 2-hour drive, and it just wants me to keep driving in a loop. Like, that's how freaked, like, our GPS was like, I don't have a way.
Right.
And I was like, how did they just shut down all roads in and out? Like, I literally, the choice was go back to Fort Collins.
Yeah.
And so then all of a sudden,
That happens about once a year on that road.
but
At least.
again, at this point in time, the wind isn't bad.
Right.
Like the wind has died. The big wind event where it was like 140 miles an hour, that was the day before.
Right.
And there, like I said, you can see the interstate from where we're at, and there's just nothing on the interstate. And they have like plows blocking, all, like
they brought out
snow
snowplows,
blocking everything that was easy access is closed.
Yeah.
So I look up and I see this pickup, and he looks like he's from Wyoming. I don't know how to explain it, but have you ever seen a pickup in a trailer and you just know they're from Wyoming?
Yes.
Okay, so I see this guy. I can't see his license
Same
plate.
thing when I see a van and I know it's from South Dakota.
Yes, yes. Same, like just your instincts or whatever it is, just pattern recognition. But I was like, that guy's from Wyoming. I'm following him. Nobody in front of him. Okay. So we start following him, and he's taking like just wild, I don't know, just wild decisions. But behind us, everybody from the interstate is following us.
Yeah.
So we've
Like
got
over
like 100
100
cars behind us, and we're following this rando pickup that I'm like, I'm putting my faith in you because you look like you're from Wyoming, and Wyoming people know dirt roads. I'm just period.
Yeah.
And so we're like zigzagging, and then my GPS is freaking out, and it's like, dude, I don't know where you're at. Like literally, it's like you're in the middle of a field, and it's like telling me like, I don't, you know how the blue line like it'll like direct you or whatever. There's not even a blue line. It just has us in the middle of the field, and it's like, I don't know what to do, bud. Like, it just keeps saying like rerouting. It's like, I don't know what, I'm just following this guy. And then all of a sudden we get back and we find this just random entrance back onto the interstate that wasn't blocked off. We get back onto the interstate. There's no other cars either way in the interstate. And my GPS is like, this road is closed. Exit the interstate. And I'm like, no.
It's just like a little red dotted line again. It's not like the blue line. It's just like a red dotted line. Like, you should not be on this road right now.
Literally tell us like, this road is closed. Get off of the road. And I'm like, no, we're taking this road.
Meanwhile, on the frontage road that's right next to us, I see Department of Transportation vehicles going past. And I'm like,
still closed.
Are we
but
so
for some
in
reason,
trouble?
This random entrance onto, and it was dirt roads on both. I can't believe that there was an entrance onto the interstate from this place, because it's just dirt roads. Like, there was no road going to it, but there was an entrance onto the interstate. So we get on the interstate, and then everybody behind us, there's hundreds of cars. They all start passing us. I'm like, good. At this point, they can't pull us all over.
Right.
And so then I texted that we were going to a friend's house outside of Cheyenne, and I was like, the interstate's closed, but we're on it anyway. We'll be there in 20 minutes. Like, so the GPS went from like 3 hours to get 20 minutes to this road's closed, please get off of it. And then finally GPS corrected, it was like 20 minutes. But it was weird because it was like no redirections. They didn't close it at a place where like if they'd have closed one road back, there's roads east and west you could go.
Yeah.
But it was like they closed it on a road specifically that had only dirt roads. There was only dirt roads exiting off of it. There was no main road.
Yeah,
and
they'll close all that off.
It was crazy.
They will. Last winter we were coming back same route
for 60 mile an hour wind.
Yeah, coming up I-25, and we're driving, and it's like freak blizzard. We went to go pick up some furniture.
In a freak
down in Loveland.
Freak blizzard.
Out of nowhere. It was sunlight and everything. We walked outside. We couldn't even see the vehicles. It was freak blizzard in the middle of it. And it lasted like 5 minutes. Like just like no visibility lasts like 5 minutes. So we get in the vehicle. We start heading home. It hits again when we get past Wellington, headed north to Cheyenne.
Same
and we're
spot.
driving and I'm going like 35 miles an hour because I can't see anything.
Yeah.
And so I'm driving and I realized I was like, I haven't seen any vehicles either way in a long time. So we popped online. Yeah, I-25, they had closed it right after we got on I-25.
Oh.
So they had closed it, and we were on the closed road, but we were like, we're already headed. Let's just keep going. But
goodness.
They close that road all the time. We've been going to visit family in Colorado and had to stay the night in Cheyenne because they closed that highway because we couldn't go any further.
Yeah.
That's what we were kind of at the point where it was like, if we couldn't get around, if this dude that we put all of our faith into couldn't get us to the promised land, we were just going to turn around.
That'd have been funny if he was just going to his ranch.
You
guys all just ended up in
part of me. That was my only real concern was this is a guy who knows where he's going.
Yeah, because we're taking country like back roads and stuff.
But
we just turn onto his property.
Like, why are all these people following me out of my house?
Yeah, for real though.
You have a barn?
But no, yeah, and then we get back on the interstate, and then it's just like. And then the cops, there was like 5 cops within like 10 miles, and they weren't even trying to pull anybody over. They were just like, I don't know, there's too many people. And like literally hundreds of people behind us. It was so funny because it was like,
I bet.
I don't know. Do you like off of the Twister movies when like it just shows them in the highway and there's nobody in front of them, and then there's just like tons of cars behind them.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. Was like we were driving into something unknown, and we didn't get the memo, and so we were leading all of these people astray. But for two things. The first thing that I realized was how quickly and easily doesn't matter what your plans are, doesn't matter what the weather is even doing. They decided nobody's going north. And nobody was going north.
Yeah.
They shut down every single, but then the second thing it taught me was knowing someone local made a big difference because that dude knew where he was going. Because even the GPS, like I set up the GPS a few times and it kept like freaking out and was like rerouting. But this dude, it was like he wasn't slow. Like he knew exactly where he was going to get back to this spot. And sure enough, we get to that spot and boom, we're back on the interstate.
See, and I learned a valuable lesson in listening to the weather people because we were going to visit family in Ohio when the boys were little. Beth was pregnant with Macy. And that's how young they were. And we were going to Ohio, and we get all the way to York, and they close the interstate while we're in York because high winds. And there's a blizzard moving in. And like there was no snow, no nothing. And we're like, this is ridiculous. So we're just stuck in York. And so we started looking, and this storm was like moving south. And it was east of Lincoln and moving south. So we're like, you know what? Let's just pop up to Columbus. And we'll cut across there and we can just keep going. And so we head north, and this thing flipped and sat right on top of us.
Oh, no.
And we are stuck, and there's nothing.
Goodness.
You get past Columbus all the way through Iowa, there is nothing. And so we're trying to find a hotel, trying to find towns. At one point, there are... the drifts are as high as the top of the electric lines. Like the drifts are touching the electric lines.
Oh my gosh.
That's how big. And we're driving and we're dodging cars because people are stuck, and we're dodging cars trying to get to the next town. We got like half a mile from this town in Iowa, and we get stuck. And I'm like, and I got the 2 little boys, and Beth is pregnant, and I'm contemplating walking to this farmhouse that I can see.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I wouldn't have made it because this blizzard is nasty. And I know I'm not supposed to do that, but when you have kids in the vehicle, I was like, I got to do something. And we had 1 bar on our phones. And so we called 911. The police said, we can't do anything. So they connected us with the National Guard. The National Guard kids, I call them kids. They were the young recruits. They're in there. And they're like, well, we called our commanding officer. He said, we can't go out. You know, we can come get you in the morning, but we can't go anywhere. Right. So we're like, so we're trying to figure out a plan. What are we going to do? And then we get a phone call back, and they're like, forget him. We're coming out. We're bringing the Humvees.
Oh my
gosh. I was like, what? So they pull up in 4 Humvees, military Humvees. We load up in those bad boys. They're peeling around, and they took us to town.
Oh my gosh.
3 days later, they finally dug our van out, and we got to get our van and finish our trip. We were just stuck in the hotel.
Yeah.
The hotel across the street was like, hey, we got a swimming pool if kids want to come over. And so we walked across, and by the time we got over there, their ceiling had collapsed into their pool. So
Oh, gosh.
never mind, no pool.
Yeah. Oh.
So with two youngsters and Beth was pregnant and everything, we're just in a hotel room for 3 days with nothing but vending machine food. You know, good times and water.
They have water at least.
We were lucky to get in a hotel though, because we got the last room because everybody else, they were staying at the YMCA on cots and stuff for those 3 days. Because there were so many people that got stuck in that little town.
For real. That
was scary. So that taught me if they close the highways, maybe we'll pull over and wait for them to open it back up. You know?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Had it been snow,
that
rain,
changes the game.
Ice, cold, had it been lower than 65 degrees and sunny, had I seen something like, because we were looking on our phone, like I literally like,
if you would have saw his plates and they said Georgia.
Yeah.
Like this guy doesn't know where he's going.
But like, I don't know, just the fact that, it wasn't even that windy at this point in time. And like, and I knew, and I was pretty sure, because I've heard of that they close a lot of roads in Wyoming for wind. But come to find out, the part of the road that was closed was Colorado. Yeah. It wasn't even the Wyoming interstate that was closed. It was just the Colorado side. Yeah. And they opened it back up in Wyoming. And I was like, so all of that added, and I was like, this doesn't make any sense why you're preventing cars from driving through. And then once we get to Wyoming just has closed to high profile vehicles. Yeah. So all the trucks are off the road in Wyoming, but in Colorado they just closed the road, and I was like, this makes no sense why you, but anyway. Yeah.
And
the only 2 overturned trucks that we saw were in Nebraska. Yeah. So
we saw
it was once we got back into Nebraska anyways.
We saw
and the winds were not that as bad.
I always say there's a reason for everything too. So like there's probably something was keeping you off of that interstate for some reason.
I literally
that's the way I always look at it. If I'm running late or anything,
I'm
like, you know what? Something's trying to keep us off of that road. So let's own it. Let's embrace it. You know.
Yeah, I turned to Courtney and I even said that at one point. I was like, I'm not upset.
I think
like,
you
I'm
were
not
just
frustrating.
talking straight to God at that point, actually.
I think so, yeah. But I was just I think so. I was like, I think so. I was like, whatever is going on, God, I know, like, you've got a plan, whatever.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal, but I was like, I'm just gonna keep. I think you're right. I think I was talking about. I was like, I'm gonna keep trying, and if you're gonna just shut it down, just shut it down. But I'm gonna keep trying until I know for sure. Because at this point, it wasn't late enough that I was like, I'm not just gonna go get a hotel in the afternoon. I was like, but anyway, wind. So it hit 144 miles an hour, and have you seen the highest gust / highest sustained for each state? It's like the whole Northwest from Nebraska, South Dakota up, and then straight across and up. All of them.
You mean Midwest? You said Northwest.
I said Northwest because it is Northwest.
Okay.
Like literally from Nebraska, South Dakota, and North Dakota.
Okay.
And every state west of them.
Oh, okay.
Including Colorado,
Yeah.
Wyoming, all those, Utah. Every single state had gusts over 100 miles an hour. And Wyoming had sustained winds that were basically hurricane category 4 sustained winds.
Yeah.
It's like 140 miles per hour. Wasn't
For
it?
a whole day. Crazy.
Yep.
And then meanwhile, in the way northwest, they're flooding.
Yeah.
Weird weather. But anyway, all that to say, we got around it.
Yeah.
We did
Any
the thing.
any videos that I see of it, there's
Shout
just
out.
a lot of climate change bots in the comments. So, like,
If you're a
this is
random-
climate
Yeah.
change.
Yeah.
This is
you're
what
a-
happens, and blah blah blah. We need
you-
to stop it.
If you're a random from Wyoming and you happen to be driving a trailer on your way through,
It was a U-Haul. Yeah.
Was it a U-Haul?
Yeah.
And
How weird would
what a
that be
day.
if they're
Hear this?
listening and they're like, hey.
hey, that was me.
Hey.
Hit me up. I'll buy you a free energy drink, bud.
That's awesome.
Anyway,
You're gonna get a
All
lot
that
of people
said.
just claiming to be that person now.
I'll just ask him what color was the pickup.
Oh, there we
'Cause
go.
I didn't say it.
Oh, I don't even
didn't say
remember
it.
that.
I do.
Oh,
And there's a
your little.
if you
laugh
put
was
two and two
good.
together, they'd probably be able to guess because like Wyoming and pickup, there's only like 4
Yeah.
colors.
That's true. You got about a 1 in 4 chance.
Yeah, they don't like your pickup stands out in Wyoming. You
Yeah,
know, like
definitely.
it's not a Wyoming color. But anyway, all of that to say, that's all I have for current events.
Wow.
And
Dun, 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 dun.
bam. So today's topic.
Oh, I'm excited.
I've got a nice little intro, like yes, little.
Little.
A little one.
I think we might have talked about it a couple weeks ago, but I want to bring it back up.
Yeah.
There is a mushroom that
Oh yeah.
when you take it,
Yeah.
it does not have, is it called cybocillin? Cybocillin? The stuff that makes you trip when you eat mushrooms.
Right.
It doesn't have that in it. However, every person who takes this mushroom, eats this mushroom, has hallucinations, and they all see
Yep.
little people.
Little people,
I did see that.
like little bitty people,
Shared experience. Every person who
like
takes it and
manipulating
trips
the
out
world around them and stuff.
sees little
Yeah.
people. Yep, like straight up, like little elves,
Yeah.
little Nisse, Nisse,
Nisse.
Tomte or whatever the other one is. I'll have to look it up to make sure I have the right word. But they all see
I heard
these little people.
the videos I watched, they pronounced it Nisse.
Nisse.
I'm not Danish. I am Danish, but I'm not from Denmark, so it looks like it says Nisse.
Just disclaimer: if you hear us
Nisse.
saying something that starts with an N and has S's in it, that's what we're talking about. Yeah.
I'm gonna ask the Nisse is how it's pronounced.
Nisse.
Apparently,
Nisse.
is what this says.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Let's take a look at how
shush. Just say the word.
Let's take a look.
the say. Some people might pronounce Nisse.
Just say the word, dude.
How long's the video?
Some
A minute
pronounce
long.
it Nissan.
I just want you to say the
Just let me
word.
say it.
Just say the word, bud.
Well, this guy was the guy that I heard say
Nissan Ultima.
he had an accent. Like he was from
So,
like the Netherlands.
Let me
or
channel my
Norway.
inner Viking accent.
Okay.
You gotta speak from the back a little bit. So it's like Nissa. Nope, it doesn't work.
That was not.
That
No,
was
it's not. It is. But they
sounds
do.
like
They
you
have
have to
that.
burp.
It almost sounds like they swallowed their tongue a little bit. Like, have you ever listened to people speaking Danish?
Yes.
Yes. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's almost got. It's like you're eating peanut butter and it's stuck in your throat.
It's very. It's
Sorry.
Very
I think it's just your chair.
not guttural. What's the word I'm looking for? I'll think of it later.
Yeah, but anyway,
Glottal. It's very glottal.
glottal. That's a good. I
Glottal?
like
It's
the
very
word.
glottal. There
Glottally.
you go. That's the
Very
word I was looking for.
Is that,
extra
is that
glottally.
like a choir term or something? Just a speech
Yes.
word? Yeah.
Yes, it's a
Voice term.
college voice
Just
term.
never vocally trained.
Glottal?
So
So
glottal.
before we get into it,
Sounds like a Pokemon.
dude,
It does.
sound like a Pokemon. Okay, so the North Pole to me is a Mandela effect, because I remember when I was a kid, like even when we talk about the North Pole with like Santa Claus and stuff like that,
Yeah.
it's like land,
Yeah.
but it's covered in snow and ice, right?
Yeah.
Right.
There is no land
Yeah.
at the North Pole.
I discovered that too.
It's just
Yeah.
water.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Yeah, welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to this
I've
timeline,
actually mentioned
buddy.
this before. Yeah.
I guarantee.
Welcome
there's
to this
gotta be
timeline.
land there.
There is not.
Because I
There's no
remember
land.
penguins,
Not
all that
directly
stuff. That's
there.
Antarctica.
No.
Yeah.
It has all the
That's-
penguins and stuff.
That's how they portray it in the
You
Santa
have just
Claus.
been Mandela effect, bud.
Yep.
I share this sentiment
Mandela
with you. It's
affected?
frustrating because your whole life. We talk about, nobody ever talks about the ocean at the North Pole.
Okay, wait, time out. I came up with a cool theory, though. I saw this kind of theory and I kind of twisted it a little bit, but there was an ancient, sophisticated society of people that supposedly sunk into the ocean called Atlantis. And so I did see a theory that possibly the
current
North Pole was actually Atlantis. So at one point there was,
Oh yes.
and then it got covered
I
and
forgot you mentioned
frozen.
that.
And so there could be land and buildings and things like that if that's true. I don't know. Something I came across.
Also, something that is not talked about a whole lot in our media, which surprises me, is how fast the North Pole is moving.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it is moving shockingly fast. And I was listening to a meteorologist, it's not meteorologist, the people who, is it meteorologist? The people who like study weather patterns and the history of weather.
Yep.
And the history of weather. Is that all encompassing?
Maybe. But
Anyways.
anyway, that's what his career is.
Right.
And he was talking about how the geomagnetic North Pole and the movement of it, and he was talking about how it affects our weather.
Yeah.
And he was saying that how fast it's moving, the only thing that could make sense is if our the magnetic sphere around us, the
Right.
shield,
Yes.
with how fast the North Pole is moving, it has to be like freaking out a little bit.
Yeah.
And so he had theorized that that's the reason why we saw the Northern Lights all the way as far
Right.
south as like
Yeah.
Florida. We talked about that a little bit.
It's interesting.
But he was saying also that kind of a shift would dramatically affect our weather. And he had predicted a long time ago that this winter was going to be really weird. And he was like, and he didn't say, oh, it's just going to be hot all summer or something like that. You know, like how
Right.
like the Farmer's Almanac might predict this
Right,
or that.
right.
Or like you see those weird gifs, or not gifs, but those weird pictures that are like abnormally low temperature, abnormally high water or whatever. Like it wasn't even like that. He was just saying this winter, the storms we're going to see are going to be really abnormal. That's all he said.
It's
But he was
weird to me that like the poles, when I first learned that the poles actually move, because longitude, latitude, all that stuff seems like it's just etched, like it doesn't change, but they're all based on, degrees from the poles. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So that always, I wrapping my mind around that was like, that is weird
Yeah.
that the magnetic poles can shift and change.
Right.
But I mean, when you understand how that all works, it makes sense. But yeah. So would we have to rewrite if it changes it not significantly enough? Would we have to change longitude, latitudes, or they just exist like state lines and
Whether they're actually
borders and
functional
things,
anymore
whether
or
they're
not.
actually accurate or not? They're just stuck in that mapping. I don't know.
Yeah, so look at this. You can see on this map, Camden. So the North Pole back it'd be in 1831, it would have been on land in Canada.
Yeah.
And then by 1948, I guess it would have been on land again in 1948. But then by 2001, it's in the middle of the Arctic Ocean. 2007, and then the geographic North Pole it passes by the geographic North Pole and has moved on to the point where it's like it's getting closer and closer to Russia.
Oh, so eventually North Pole will just not be the North Pole then.
It'll be the Russia pole.
Russia Pole.
Right.
The great Russian pole. I don't know.
Where did they come up with the geographic North Pole as opposed to the actual magnetic North Pole? If I mean, it's a North Pole. Like, why didn't they use the magnetic? Because that's way off from where, looking at that map, that's way off from where it's geographically located. Who picked that spot in the middle of the water and was like, here it is?
Is it according to like the Earth's rotation? And like if you stick a
Probably.
rod through it?
Yeah, that could be,
because it's supposedly
based on
at a tilt and yeah.
Yeah, I bet you're right.
Somebody built a
bet
globe
you're right.
back in the 1800s and they were like, there it is.
Yep.
That's where the post
Confirmed.
sticks out.
Yep.
Have you seen the like how far up the water is compared to like how the let me say this, the Earth rotates, right?
Right?
Yeah.
So I think at the North and South Pole,
Unless
the
we're
water is
flat
actually
Earth.
like way higher than it should be.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
So yeah,
Because there's like
water-
a pull to it,
Yeah.
almost like when the moon, like with the moon and stuff, and it affects the tides and
Yeah.
pulls it out. Yeah,
Well, and there's also
that's crazy.
there are gravitational anomalies on Earth as well. There's a fat gravitational anomaly. I think it's over
Fat anomaly.
Australia. I'm probably wrong. But there's a gravitational anomaly where it's like the gravitational pull is like significantly, or like pull, not pull, Pull, not POLE. Pull is higher than in other places, and it's like it's interesting. Just be that whatever causes that, you know, the shape of the Earth, the rotation, the whatever is causing it. I don't know. The density of the material in Earth. I don't know. I haven't studied this well enough. I'm sure Phil's mom is probably already typing a response explaining it to me. And I look forward to the response on YouTube.
She's already sensing a disturbance in the force that you're saying.
Yeah, she's
some wrong
already
stuff.
looking it up, and she didn't even know that we're going to talk about
Spidey
it.
senses are going
Yeah,
on.
she already knows.
Oh, Tanner's messing up.
I gotta inform him.
Teach him.
I actually do. I actually really appreciate her comments because it's a lot of times it's like I don't know about this, and then she will answer it, and I don't have to like spend time studying it, and I can trust because I know she knows her stuff.
Yeah.
She's
And
so nice about it.
I
You
can
know what
trust her
Like,
source.
She makes you feel good about being wrong.
Yeah.
Trust her as a
That's
source.
nice.
Yeah.
I love community. That's great.
Dude, it's awesome.
Great.
But yeah, so welcome to the, now you've been Mandela affected and
Affected.
you know.
So it's okay. So Mandela affected. So since it turns into a verb, do we spell it with an A?
We have to.
We have to, right?
Yeah.
You've
Because
been
it's
Mandela
affect
affected.
now.
You
and
have
not
been
you.
Mandela affected.
It's the Mandela
effect.
effect,
It's
but then you
Mandela
get
effect.
Mandela affected.
That's right.
Okay. I just got to make sure grammatically it makes sense.
It's all
So,
Mandela's fault. He just had to live.
he had to be impactful, man.
And if we're talking psychology, maybe you have the Mandela affect,
Stop it.
where your face shows that you've been
Affect.
Mandela'd in the face.
Affectation.
Your Mandela affect.
I mean, there is a face you make that
See?
confuses you. Yeah.
See?
No.
Uh,
I'm pretty sure that's my face most of the time. Confusion.
What was it? I had something. What was I was gonna talk about something about the poles in the magnetosphere. And I don't remember now. Oh well. It must not have been that important. Oh, I remember. Have you guys heard about the new space race?
The new one?
No.
There's another space race occurring.
No longer to Mars.
In order to build a nuclear reactor on the moon.
Gosh.
Okay.
We are now in a race with China and Russia, and they would like to build theirs by 2035. And so America was like, we're going to do it by 2030.
It's like the 60s all
And
over again.
So they're going to apparently build a nuclear reactor on the moon.
Is that why they fired a nuclear ballistic at the moon a few
Probably.
years back just to test it?
Just
see
to
what it would
test.
do?
Yeah.
I know when they did, I was like, you're going to throw it off and we're going to all die.
Crack
Right.
it open. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude. So they're and the idea is because apparently there's like prime real estate on the moon, And so America wants to get there before the other countries. So I have a thought. And I was listening to, and the whole reason I even know this.
I was going to say, I think I heard a little bit of this on Blurry.
I was listening to the Ninja
Butterflies. Yeah, that's right. Ninjas.
The Ninjas Are Butterflies podcast. And they were talking about it. And they literally, I had the thought, and then they said it out loud. And I thought, and I was like, okay, how do we not have a treaty for the moon? Like we're just going to just all out war. Whoever gets there first gets there. But for some reason, we don't do that with Antarctica.
Yeah, that is strange.
Why isn't like China going, hey, with all these natural resources, I bet Antarctica is rich in resources. I'm just going to take over Antarctica rather than worrying about the moon.
What about the theory that the moon is actually a man-made satellite from way, way, way back tech, and like they're just getting ready to release that, and they're going to say, "Oh no, we put a nuclear reactor up there, but it's already there."
But it was already there. Are there any? We should find someone and see if there's any pyramids on the moon.
I know, right?
I bet there is.
There's that one face thing. Is that a nuclear reactor?
The man on the moon face?
No, not the man on the moon face. The one that looks like you know what I'm talking about? Okay.
The one that looks like the Sphinx? That's on Mars.
No. Let me find it.
There's some weird, look like
that's not what I'm looking at.
Doors, like portal.
There's a face on the moon's south pole.
Yeah.
This thing.
Yep.
Stop it.
I love it when you pull up pictures because it's always facing directly.
And it kind of looks like an
me.
anomaly. You're never going to see them. And
Never.
Tilt them.
I know. You just.
I need to get better at tilting.
You have to use your imagination.
I know. Yeah.
It looks like a face on the moon.
So
Imagine.
It looks like your face now because I'm looking at you and trying to imagine.
let's move on to elves.
Okay.
We talked a lot about the North Pole and everything.
Nice.
Okay. So, elves. So my thought process was, I wanted to have a Christmas episode that was lighthearted.
Yep.
And I was like, and Mike was like, what about like Christmas elves? And I was like, yeah, we could do elves and Nisse. And
I was like, what's a Nisse?
And I was like, bro, you're Danish. You should know this.
And then you were like, oh, you mean gnomes?
And I said, oh, gnomes? And he goes, no, not gnomes.
No, they're not the same.
So
they're similar.
big Tanner rant.
You know what
they're
is?
Similar.
So as I was listening to descriptions and things, you know who is Anissa? Dobby, the house elf. He is not an elf. Oh. That dude is an Anissa. He is serving. He is contracted until he's released. And in England they call them house goblins. They don't call him Nisse. And I was like, hold on. Dobby is not an elf, sir. I always thought that was fishy that they labeled Dobby an elf.
Well, but that's the thing. There is a lot of crossover. And you know how we talked about how the Mothman has a lot of crossover with different things?
Like there's certain topics that are like catch-alls.
Yeah.
Yes.
Elves and fairies.
Elves? Okay, so we already talked about the mushroom that makes you see elves.
Yeah.
Little people. They don't like to be called little people. He's an angry elf. But
call me an angry elf one more time.
Every country in that region has their own version of the elf.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
in all across Europe.
They're very, very similar. But the one thing that I kept finding was they're not talked about like folklore. They're real. Okay. So,
some of them are considered to be like family. Like they call them, like the word Nisse means little family member.
Yeah.
That's the translation.
Okay. So in Iceland, okay, this is a real story. In Iceland in the 70s. Okay. So this is like modern-ish times.
Yeah. That's pretty recent.
They're building road construction in... Okay, it's Iceland, so forgive me if you're from Iceland. I know we have some listeners from Iceland. Forgive me, I can't pronounce your names. Reykjavik, spelled Reykjavik. Okay,
feel
so
like
there's
I've
road
seen that
construction going
name
on.
before.
Have you ever seen the video of the dude pronouncing it? And it's like Wales or whatever, and he's like, it's like
Oh yeah, the
longest
that,
name.
that long
Anyway.
yeah, that town with the long name that they all get
Yes.
taught how to pronounce it in school. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're doing road construction, and their machinery just starts to like break down near this like lava field. And this lava field is famous because the inhabitants of Iceland have always said that that is where their version of the Nisse live. It's called in Iceland is called their words, man. Holdofolk. That sounds bad. Holdofolk. FOLK. Okay. So
A little better.
the equipment managers that are actually like running the equipment on this road construction, they're starting to get frustrated because all their equipment is just like failing at this site. And then all of the people driving the equipment say that every time they approach this region, they start feeling panic and dread, and like they just need to leave as soon as possible. People actually start just like quitting.
Right.
When they reach this spot because they're like, I just can't deal with this. And they don't, and it's not even like, oh, I believe in the little people, I can't deal with. No, it's like just regular old people from the city are like, I can't deal with this dread, I'm quitting. And then they started having like equipment and tools just straight up disappearing, just gone from the sites, from the work sites. And so eventually it got to the point where they were like, okay, something's going on. We just need to redirect away from this region. So they start building slightly different, and they back up their plans. They just like undo the road construction they did.
Yeah.
And then redirected it around this spot. Everything starts working. The sense of dread goes away, and they don't have a single other issue finishing this road. This was in the 70s. So then again in the 2000s, same thing, but a different spot. Same thing's happening. And they're experiencing this. Literally, you could copy and paste the two stories because they were so similar that I'm not going to repeat everything. And they redirect it, start building somewhere else. Everything starts all of a sudden working fine again. So now, in real time in Iceland, they actually get in touch with the people who know the local folklore and plan and navigate their construction around these like sites.
Spots. Huh.
And since then, they've had no more
Hot
issues
spots?
with this sort of thing happening in Iceland.
That's interesting.
Goodness.
So the part of the reason I wanted to share that story right off that is because that's like modern times.
Yeah.
But when you go back so modern times, they view it as like, this is like, I don't know, I view like in America, we talk about like Bigfoot, but in America, Bigfoot is still that like, it's a lore.
Right.
It's like a step above that. And you know how we talk about in like Africa, they talk about like shape-shifting people into animals?
Yeah.
And it's like, this actually happens. Like they don't talk about it as like, oh, this folklore that happened. No, like it's real. This happens here. That's the way that they view
Yeah.
the little people and like the Nisse, whatever. The Elves, Tomte, all of these other things.
Yeah.
That's what was that? The folk. That's how they view these. Is like, this is a real thing that we encounter regularly. And it's so crazy to me to think that way because in our Western thinking mind, these are Western countries.
Well, they even have like
And yet-
manuals and stuff from way back that tell you like where to look in your house to find these things.
Yeah.
Because they're considered like helpful. If you're a good person and you are nice and you leave food for them and all that stuff, they will help you and they will do chores and they will give you good luck and good fortune. And if you're a bad person or you forget to feed them, they steal stuff and break things. And you know, they're a very naughty and nice kind of creature. You know, their entire existence based is on your naughty or nice. I did see, so the one of the explanations, the more really down to earth explanations of why these Nisse can be found all over, and elves all over Europe and things, is the Vikings, because they were very active in the Viking culture. And the Vikings traveled, and they think they hadn't had some of them with them. and they would hop off and not get back on the ship when they headed home, and so they would stay. So in Viking culture,
That's true. Yeah,
you
'cause it did.
you could hire
In the Vikings.
you could hire a Nisse. Do you know how you would go about hiring a Nisse?
How?
You go to a church and you walk around the church 3 times counterclockwise, and you say the word Nisse, and one will appear, and he's ready to make contract with you to move and protect your property and your house.
So you actually brought up that's
Church.
weird.
Yeah.
But you did bring up a point. No, that in these cultures, in even like post-Christianity, even the church acknowledged that these things were real.
Yeah.
It's not even like a like.
Yeah, they legitimately were like,
Yeah,
they,
the church
they had
acknowledged
ways
it.
to bring them, to service for you.
So there was a church, and so this was in Denmark in the 1600s. Okay, there was it was the historical narrative is that it was a church that angered the Nisse, and so there was a rural Danish parish that built this church, and they originally just started building it on like an open pasture. Like it wasn't in town or anything. Like it was out in just out in the country. And they, you know how like the old churches, they had the church bells.
Yeah.
And then they would basically like, that was like the almost like the christening of the church. It was like, okay, you get ready, you build it.
Christian.
You
I
put
heard
up the
like
bell.
Krishna.
And then you ring the bell and the church is open.
Yes.
And so they do all of this. They're not able to ring the bell. Every time they go to ring the bell, something happens. The rope gets cut. The bell falls. They get it put back up. Something else happens and the mechanism breaks and they go to put it back up. Somebody falls and hurts themselves. Like they repeatedly are not able to ring the bell in order to like Christian, like to open the church or whatever. And then, all around the church, all of the livestock started drying up, like they weren't producing milk anymore. Animals started getting skittish around the church. The children started talking about the small old men that are watching the church.
Oh man.
And
I don't like that.
a pastor, the pastor of the church wrote, "The people insist that a guardian of the land has been offended, and that is the source of our problems."
Right.
So this is the church. And so then eventually the elders, they convinced the church to start producing the offerings of porridge and bread and beer
Oh,
And you got to have butter in the porridge.
and butter.
If you don't have butter in the porridge,
there's
bad news bears.
you must came across that same story.
Yeah.
So wait, let me finish this because I'm almost
Okay.
done.
Butter.
From that moment on, as soon as the church started offering
I'm on
up
board.
the yearly offering, they never, from that point forward, the next day, they were able to ring the bell, open the church, everything's fine. The church went forward, and the records of the disturbances literally end at them, the church, producing the offering of porridge to these people.
Yep.
So, the butter one. You got that story?
Did you? Yeah. So it's
I found that one
similar
too.
kind of story. Like, so there was this farmer had some cattle and things.
1800s.
And in the 1800s. And he put out the porridge with the honey, and the Nisse showed up and there was no butter in his porridge. So he killed one of the cattle, for punishment.
Mutilated it.
Yeah, for punishment for not putting butter in the porridge. And then here's the thing. So then the guy, he I don't know, did he write a letter? I don't know how but he let the Nisse know there was butter in it. It was underneath the porridge. I didn't put it on top. It's on the bottom. And then the Nisse was happy, and he regretted punishing this guy. And so he brought a new cow to him.
Oh my
And
goodness.
gave it to him. Yeah, there's this little story. Yeah, because of the butter.
All because
It's
of
important.
And the
You put
cow was
butter in
back
your porridge.
alive.
Yeah.
So it was dead, and then it was now alive.
Yeah, now it's a live cow.
back.
Wow.
Brought it back.
Jesus cow.
Yep.
And
Zombie cow.
again, these stories these stories aren't presented in like folklore or tradition. They're presented
They're
in the history
newspapers
books
and stuff. Yeah,
Yes.
newspapers.
It's like
and
this is a historical event that occurred. there's also, but and again, it goes both ways, because as long as you appease them with the right things, they're positive.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a case of in the 1800s in Norway where a toddler vanished during a blizzard, and when they started searching for the kid, they just assumed like a toddler disappears in a blizzard, it's not going to be good.
Yeah.
And they found tracks of the toddler, and then like another set of like feet
Little
that are like the
tiny
same
cobbler
size. Yeah,
shoes.
like little feet next to it.
Oh my
two
goodness.
sets of tracks,
Little Keebler tracks.
and led them into the barn. They get into the barn, and there's the toddler, perfectly fine, no problems, no frostbite. Literally, like, it's a miracle that this child
gosh.
found the barn, let alone was in the barn and was able to get into the barn. Because how is Bennett going to get in? Like, even just the garage. How's he going to get into the garage?
Yeah.
Let alone a barn, And so but the second set of tracks disappears at the barn, and there was no sign of anything other than the toddler in the barn.
Oh my gosh.
And again, these are written in like historical, like.
And I mean, if you believe in like giants and things like that all existing, then why not
Right.
believe in like these anti-giants? They're
Yes.
like
little guys.
little guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They're all. I didn't find they all came across in my stories as being male too, which is weird to me. Like I didn't see any
yeah, they're men.
Sexist.
female Nisse. They're always
They're
old
men
men
with
They look like little old men
yeah, little
with
little
little
old
pointy
men.
red hats, and yeah, yep.
So okay, before I get to the
So
next
is that
story,
why Tolkien makes his jokes about all the dwarves looking like men, but some of there are women
That could be,
they,
But they just
they
look
just
like
have
men.
beards.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
maybe
that's
he's
a fair
pulling
point.
from
Yeah.
some folklore. Yeah,
So there's also cases of people who wrote back who came to America from Sweden in the late 1800s.
Late 1818?
Late 1800s.
late 1818.
Late 1818.
And this family, yes,
I'm gonna start saying that. That is a great
Late
late
It rolls
1818.
off the tongue.
late
does.
1818.
Late 1818.
I mean, it works. So a family wrote back to their relatives back home in Sweden, and they wrote in their letter that he came with us.
Oh.
The land is different, but he remains the same. He doesn't like the Americans, so we leave porridge anyway. Just as a footnote in one of their like, hey, just checking in with you guys. And so the Nisse, whatever, followed them to America. So
I saw some of the cultures
Like,
too
they
that
could travel.
they actually they believe that these are their relatives who pass on. They can ask them to come back as a Nisse and live in their house and help serve them, and things like that too. So some of them actually see them as actual family members, not just not symbolic family members. So yeah.
So
that was
do they just all hate Americans and that's why we never see them? They're just like, nah, I'm going back.
maybe. So in Scotland in right around the year 1900. So this isn't, I mean, we're not talking like
Right.
500, 600 years ago. Like these are somewhat current.
Right. Right.
Like even thinking like our grandma
right.
was born closer to these stories than today.
And she was very what everybody would say how like she believed in a lot of folklore and stories and tradition and things like that. Yeah. Growing up, and even like so our great grandma especially, believed in a lot of those old stories and things. So because you pass those down.
So in Glasgow, in Glasgow in the 1900s, early in right around the year 1900, there was an event where independent people who didn't know each other, who didn't communicate with each other, dozens and dozens of people started reporting knee-high, pale, gray clothed, and they were moving in an orderly procession, little men. And they said that every time that they looked at them it was as though the air thickened, is what one person explained. That it just felt wrong. The other explanation, another thing that always comes with any sightings of these guys is there is a time delay.
Right. It's always time.
Yeah.
There's a
time.
weird time warp. So it's almost like time stands still when they're looking
And
at
the
them.
uneasy feeling.
And then
and
all of a sudden these people would just in single file line just disappear. And no gaps in the wall, they would just disappear. And so the newspapers started presenting the stories, but very one eyewitness said this, but whatever. But enough people came forward that the newspapers felt like they had to start printing the sightings. And the sightings occurred at a high enough level before they printed. You can't even say that they just ran with the story. But the police got involved right off the bat, even before the newspapers started posting it. And the police were even finding no evidence of them manipulating, tricking, that they were independent stories to independent people.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was just one day the sightings ceased and nobody saw them again. There was another tale of somebody who was helped, who was bringing an offering and hurt himself. And the elf, the Nisse, brought him in and nursed him back to health. And what he felt like was a day or two. And when he came back to town, over 3 weeks had gone by.
Oh my
and
gosh.
the people were like, "Oh, you're alive. You've been gone for 3 weeks, dude." And he's like, "What are you talking about? It's been 2 days."
Yeah.
And then when they went to go back to the place where he was at, nothing was there. And he was
goodness.
like, "I have proof. They gave me bread," and he went to give him bread and it was just rocks. And so it's just
that's weird.
Just
weird.
tricking him. You know what this reminds me of a little bit is leprechauns.
Oh,
Yeah.
And we talk about the different shadow figures. Maybe they're all the same thing. It's just
Yeah.
a different culture. What if leprechauns and Nisse and elves and all those
Yeah.
things? What if they're all the
Fairies
same, from the same historical background, but they're all identified by different cultures and different,
Yeah.
things like that.
Yeah.
I thought about gremlins too.
Yeah.
In the 1920s, 30s, 40s, and the wars and stuff. There was the gremlins that would sneak into airplanes and pull wires and mess with
Right.
stuff. But yeah, just mischievous little creatures. Those were described a little more like little green things with pointy ears and and big eyes and big teeth though. So they're not as cute as the Nisse are never described as being real scary.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, they do horrible things in some of the stories, but they're not described as being like monsters.
Yeah.
Right.
So the feeling of dread, is that just kind of like a aura that they put out, kind of just self-defense to protect themselves or whatever?
Maybe. And it's
Or,
weird.
I'm thinking because Bigfoot, people always say there's a weird feeling. What if, and this is, I'm not saying I believe this, but I'm throwing this theory out there. What if they are interdimensional creatures, not necessarily intelligent, not necessarily they have a soul, that they're interdimensional, and that the attribute that makes them interdimensional causes that feeling around us because they're existing in multiple dimensions, and something about it feels off to us.
Makes
That would
it feel
explain the
uncomfortable.
loss of time a
Yeah.
little bit too, because time would warp as they travel between dimensions.
Because
right?
they're basically, I mean, to our intellect, it would be basically like opening a wormhole
Yeah.
in order to travel into a different
Which
dimension.
would explain
Right.
why we can't see, the workshop at the North Pole if it's an interdimensional,
Right.
Right.
facility. We're not going to be able to see it.
And in their dimension, there's land.
Yeah,
Right?
that makes sense.
Yeah.
I thought about this earlier too. So elves are described as being they're immortal. They don't die. Or
Right.
at least, at the very least, live for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years.
And they look
And
young,
I thought
but they're
about that
old.
because something that always bothered me as a kid was all the movies and cartoons and things that I saw with elves. They were always building Tinker Toy stuff. They were always building wooden trains and things like that. I never got anything like that for Christmas. I always got techie stuff, remote stuff, the brand new Xboxes, all that stuff. And I was like, these elves understand tech. And I'm thinking, well, I guess if you're alive for hundreds of years, you have time to figure out things like quantum physics.
Right.
And,
You would understand it better than we would. Yeah.
Mechanics and electronics. You have time to figure out all that stuff.
Right.
What if
good
they
point.
invented the Xbox and sold it to Microsoft?
What if they invented?
And we're back to Nephilim.
Yes.
Boom.
Influencing technology.
Yes, exactly. I mean, fair. All right. So I've been saving this.
I'm ready.
So you know how Bigfoot exists in multiple cultures in multiple different ways. So we talked about the Nisse, the Tomte, the leprechaun, the elves, and how they exist in different cultures. So little people are a very common creature within Native American cultures
Really?
that exist pre-white people coming over.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to just start going through them because I want to pay respect to each individual one. So we'll start with the Cherokee. The Cherokee, and I apologize, I'm going to mispronounce the name of them. The Cherokee, the little people are, it means the little people in their language is the Yonwi Sundi. And in their culture, they live in forests, caves, and rock outcroppings, and they're known to help lost children and punish disrespectful adults. They can turn invisible.
This sounds very much like everything else we've been.
I know.
Yeah.
And they're
Very
still
consistent.
spoken of cautiously by elders even today. Then we have the Lakota Dakota, is the Kanatilla, which means little dwellers. They are often associated with the stars and night. They are said to abduct or confuse those who wander disrespectfully.
Oh.
That
Children are warned to not mock them or whistle at them at night. Or no, not to whistle at night.
Oh, we've heard about whistling in the woods.
Don't whistle in the woods
Don't
at night.
whistle in the woods, Camden.
Appalachia. Appalachia.
Just don't.
Just
in the
don't.
woods,
Just
man.
don't.
Just don't.
I kind of want to do it now.
As
This is Camden who we're like, we shouldn't do that. Camden, you should do
hey, as Joe Biden and later Kamala Harris would say, don't.
Don't. I mean, this is Camden at the family reunion. We were like, see
I
this
remember.
swing?
Yeah.
See this swing and see that tree? I bet you can't swing high enough. Jump out of the swing and grab that tree branch. And he tried it.
Blood everywhere.
You were right. I could not.
Don't tell your mom.
What?
Camden, don't tell your mom. I've said that a lot in your life.
He had a
Don't
little.
tell your mom.
A little bit of blood. It wasn't a lot of blood. It was just a little bit of blood.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. That's true.
Goodness.
If any of the
anybody's gonna
nieces or
whistle in the
nephews
woods,
we're going to convince to do something,
Camden's going to be
If you
the
know,
whistler.
if I disappear one day, you'll know what I did.
you whistled in the
I
woods.
whistled in the
Yeah.
wood.
Yeah.
Don't.
Well, okay, but like the dwarves, though, walking in a line to work.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they whistle. Yeah.
Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho.
Was that on accident?
What
or
do
was
you
Disney on to
when you
something?
hear someone whistle? What do you want to
Disney,
do?
feel like
Disney's
it's
so
in the know.
creepy, dude. Have you seen
I feel
the
like Disney's in
Dude,
the know.
Yeah,
Disney is
They
creepy.
knew some things.
They know. They know. They know.
yeah. Because when you hear someone whistle, what do you want to do? You want to whistle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't. So Disney, I can't verify this information, but I've heard a few different people from a few different sources say that Disney is threatening independent theater companies, like not independent, the big
yeah.
theater companies, to that if they carry the story of David
The Angel Studios stuff.
if they don't stop carrying the Angel Studios movies, they're gonna stop letting them have the Disney movies that release and stuff. It sounds fake. I'm gonna be honest, it sounds fake, but I've seen it from a few different sources, and so I'm putting it out there in the sense of don't pass that information on unless you can verify it, because I've seen it shared 100 times. It seems fake to me, and I cannot verify it. Therefore, the odds of it being real are very low. However, if
that's
a company
interesting.
was going to do it, it would be Disney.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Right. I think
right.
there was another one too, not just Disney.
Yeah, I
there
saw
was a
something
couple
else.
big
It was
ones, but
Disney and Paramount.
yeah.
Disney and Paramount were apparently like cahooting to boycott Angel Studios. But,
But
Angel
then
Studios
there's-
isn't
then
perfect
there's
either.
what I
Because
was
Angel
gonna say, what
Studios
they're
is
putting out
apparently
lately?
redoing the
Animal Farm.
Animal Farm. But,
wow.
But the movie is going to be pro-communism.
It's like more favorable.
That makes no sense because
Yeah.
Animal Farm is
It
anti-communist.
has a whole
At its
cast
very core.
that is like
Okay, So it's a movie that's anti-socialist.
Not very religious either, and them being Angel Studios. Yes.
So Animal Farm is anti-communist, anti-socialist book.
Yeah.
And one of the main voice actors in it is going to be Seth Rogen. Is it Seth Rogen?
Is it a comedy?
The dude that does the that guy, yeah. Who is super socialist.
Yeah.
It sounds weird, and I think Angel is getting into some zones where maybe they shouldn't be getting into. Yeah. I'm just going to throw that in there. But we're going to continue because nobody wants to hear about my rants. The Crow. The Crow, theirs is called the Norumbi. And this one is mischievous but powerful. And there's images with each of them. I don't know if you look at each one of them, but they all look very similar to middle, but the Crow looks angry. The Crow version looks angry, but theirs is known to lead people astray. Again, teach lessons, and some Crow families claim ancestral encounters. They are respected but not feared within their culture. The Shoshone. Okay. Theirs is called the Nimeragar. Nimerigar. This one is often described as more dangerous. It is said to use poisoned arrows. Oh. Now think about little people using poisoned arrows in Disney movies, and all of a sudden you have the coconut people.
Oh, I was going to say.
Yeah.
Yep.
So at the very least, okay. I will say this about Disney. If they're not in the know, at the very least, they are appropriating cultural tales and then using them and pretending like they came up with it. Yeah. But anyway, at the very least. So these stories, the thing about I can't pronounce it, Nimeragar. That sounds bad. I apologize. But these ones allegedly have had skeletal remains found.
Yeah.
That, guess what? Guess who is involved with this?
Indiana Jones.
Yep.
I knew it.
Yeah.
I knew it.
But no, guess
the Smithsonian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Smithsonian has refuted the claims.
Yeah. So this is interesting. So we talked about way back when we talked about giants. I keep making a relationship here, but we talked about giants, and I kind of made the point that a lot of these giants that reported, there are actually just people that are that tall.
Yeah.
You know, that's not that tall. Some of them are ridiculously tall, but some of them, they were describing this giant was 6'5". There's taller people in the NBA on almost every team. So these little people as a cryptid is interesting because we have actual people with dwarfism and things like that are small people. Yeah. So it's interesting, you know, where like even with giants, where do we draw the line? What makes them a giant as opposed to just a really tall person? Right. What makes this a cryptid as opposed to somebody that just has dwarfism?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't. These seem to. I feel like people with dwarfism wouldn't, because all these guys are very, very skilled laborers and things like that.
Those are people.
Right.
These almost come across as like spiritual or interdimensional. And they have I saw one where they have the strength of 10 men. Like they can lift things that you can't lift, even though they're little.
And I would say they're
just like superpowers.
They're significantly smaller.
They almost have like magical powers.
Right.
You know, it's totally different. But
they're also in my mind, from my research, they're significantly smaller than, you know, people with dwarfism, but they're also proportionately they're just like you take a full grown human and they're little. Yeah. And not deformed in any way.
And that's very true. Because even when with your mushrooms and they're small, we're talking small, 6 to 8
little
inches. Not 3 or 4 feet tall. Yeah. So so that is a big distinction too.
Yeah. Let me continue.
Dun, dun, dun.
Ojibwe. I'm probably mispronouncing them. But theirs is called the Memengwese, and theirs is water-associated beings who live near the rapids and shorelines. They are also tricksters and teachers.
All tricksters.
They're known to steal items and mimic human behavior. And so across all of the Native American tribes, and I don't even think that's all of them. That's just all the ones that I compiled the list of.
Yeah.
But a lot of them have, again, footprints that just vanish in their lore. Sudden silence, rock throwing is another common attribute of them. They have very selective interaction with humans, often interacting with kids more than adults, which I was thinking about it a little bit. If they were real and they were a real creature, they would probably want to interact with something that was their size, more than the grown-up version, maybe. But they tend to always punish disrespect. That's a very common.
Yep.
And then they're also they help. They're also it's weird because it's like they punish, but they also help in a weird way.
Yeah.
But they're all of them are associated as being like spiritual beings.
It's a very justice kind of
Yeah.
existence for them. Like that their whole existence is, if you're good and you do good and you treat people right and you're respectful, your great things are going to happen. And if you're not, guess what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in their culture too, you're not supposed to summon them. You're not supposed to go looking for them.
Yeah.
You're to respect them, but they're not human.
Yeah. Which is interesting because, like I said, in way back, they supposedly they had a formula for summoning them. Yep. Cam, are you down for that?
Sure.
Summon a Nisse and
Do that and then go whistle in the
take him
woods.
whistling in the woods.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last one that I have is we now find ourselves to Hawaii.
Oh.
So Hawaii, the indigenous Hawaiians, they also have a little people called the Menehune. These ones are a little bit bigger. They're 2 feet tall, 2 to 3 feet tall. Very powerful. Nocturnal. They live in the forests, the valleys, and the lava tubes. They're also skilled laborers, skilled builders. That's a common theme along these.
Yep.
They're described as being older than the Polynesians who settled Hawaii. So in their culture, they were already on the
They're already
island.
there.
Before
And the Polynesians
even got
came.
there. Huh.
And so they treat them as though they are people who were there first. But again, we've got different cultures. Like Hawaii
over the world,
is
yeah.
way separated from Europe.
Yeah.
And yet, and I guess, okay, if it was all just, okay, you could make the argument in the same sense that we have Bigfoot, which is like bigger, smart humans. You could say we could create with our imagination smaller, smart humans. However, the one thing that I find is intriguing is all of the attributes seem to be very similar among them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are they all tricksters?
And it's not just one or two.
Why are they all good
It's
builders?
almost identical.
You know,
across the
yeah.
board, yeah.
Why do they disappear as quickly as they appear?
Yep.
Why are all these attributes the same? Because if
They
we were
all
just
get attached
making
to
them
a
up,
territory or a house or a property. They like get attached to it, and you can't make them leave. You know.
yeah.
Yeah.
And again, and with the Hawaiian culture also is like you shouldn't mock them, you shouldn't chase them,
Yeah.
you shouldn't try to find them, and don't whistle at night. The Hawaiian lore is
no
also
way.
has don't whistle at night.
That's crazy. I gotta
Why does
say,
that-
Why?
Why
I
does
don't think
that
I've ever
part
whistled
creep
in
me
the
out?
woods, so I
In
don't
the
know.
forest specifically.
Now I don't know that I will ever try it, but I can't say that I remember ever whistling in the woods. I don't know.
What do you fear like someone whistling back at you in the woods? Or?
If somebody whistles at you in the woods, don't try to locate them.
Yeah, it's a
If they
don't
sound really close, they're actually far away. If they sound far away,
Oh, wait, they're actually like
close.
Right, yeah, they're really close.
So that's the lore at
Oh, okay.
least.
Yes.
But yeah,
we'll be out disc golfing and Camden will shoot a whistle and all of a sudden just something comes out of just snatches him up in a bush and we never see him again.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But I don't know. It is, this is one where I've wanted to talk about it for a while, and so I was so excited when you brought up the idea to talk about it today. But part of the reason I wanted to talk about it is because I feel like this should be on the same level as Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Because of the commonality within cultures and the
Yeah.
common effects within cultures. Like, I feel like of all of the cryptids that we could come up with or interdimensional beings or whatever appropriate term you want to label them as, if there were one that I feel like has as much ground to stand on as like Bigfoot would, as far as like sightings, commonality, cross-cultural, exists
writing
around
about it, like,
people writing about it, and the level of like truth that comes with the
even the
historical
church
traces.
backing it at some point, you know, that's interesting.
It for me, it has to hold the same weight as Bigfoot. Then it has, and so it's crazy to me that the little people is like, we're a year and a half into our podcast and we just now got to this topic, but we talk about Bigfoot all the time.
Yeah.
But having done the research on this now, I can't believe we haven't talked about this sooner.
Well, to the point where I knew what it was once I looked at it, but when you mentioned it, I was like, I don't even know what that is, you know. And then when I started looking through it, I remember hearing stories and stuff about it. Camden, why do you think our culture in the world, our world culture, is so focused on a Bigfoot cryptid, but like barely anybody knows about these things other than, like, I suppose leprechauns. People know about leprechauns. People know about elves, but the idea of the Nisse and these little men, nobody's talking about it. Why do you suppose the big difference?
Could it be maybe like at the time, like social media and such kind of came our eyes, we see like photos of Bigfoot and such.
That could be. Yeah, people catching. I don't know that I've ever seen anybody catch a photo of it.
I don't think it's photos, no, but like videos, like hypothetical
yeah,
videos.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any photos, but
Interesting.
maybe.
What if, here's my thought. What if going to the woods to look for Bigfoot, I'm leaving my house, I'm leaving my comfort zone, I'm already going somewhere looking for something. These things live in your house.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not.
And if I don't see him in my house, I'm like, yeah, that's silly. I don't believe in that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But to find Bigfoot, you actually got to go
But
out
you got to
and
go
look for
somewhere,
him.
right?
Yeah.
So maybe that's part of it. You know, I've never seen one in my house, so I don't think it's real.
Maybe we should look in our house for one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
That's the plan.
We're going Nisse hunting.
well, and like, I think one thing that is kind of interesting is we talk about like giants and giants within the Bible and historical accounts of giants.
Yeah.
Part of the reason we like giants exist, according to the Bible, is that there would be angels breeding with humans that create giant humans.
Right.
So, in the same sense, if those angels were big, could little people be little angels?
That crossed my mind too, with the whole
Is there a
idea
such
of
thing?
like the judgment between, you know, naughty and nice, good and evil. You know, with that whole judgment being there, there are angels in the Bible that is their job. To document, to observe, to,
what if
to judge, you know, that's their job. And so
what if the Watchers are actually really small?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, no, because the Watchers are the ones that
we always assume
make
like
the giants, so they would
greatness,
have to
but
be
when you
big.
really think about it, like humans, we like to think of ourselves as the standard. When it comes to the universe, we are
could be
so
anything.
tiny.
Yeah.
We are so tiny. We are closer to the size of, you know, an atom than we are to the size of even our solar system. You know, we are tiny, you know, so who's to say how big or small, you know, angels are, you know? So I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
because we know that there's different races of angels based off of the Bible as well. And I think one of the interesting attributes is that almost all cultures other than like one view them as interdimensional beings.
Yeah.
Spirit beings.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. The only culture that really doesn't view them that way are the Hawaiian, indigenous Hawaiian Polynesians, but they still acknowledge that they can disappear and like they have those attributes, but they think that they're a race of humans that existed before them. But they still, even though they don't view them as being interdimensional spirit beings, they still give them the same attributes as the cultures that do.
Yeah.
And so
Interesting.
it is.
And you know what's weird too is we view them as little, but like if you look a lot of literary elves in like fantasy stories and things like that in books, some of them are human size. I mean, they're not little, You know, you look at like Lord of the Rings,
Yeah,
elves
Lord of
are
the Rings,
the same
they're
size as humans, you know?
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. There's a theory that Santa Claus is an elf.
Oh,
Why is he human sized then if he's an elf? You know? I don't know. What makes him an elf? I don't know. So I just don't know enough about elves.
What if Santa is when elves eat humans?
Oh.
And so he's big elf.
Right. Could be.
You know, the same way that
Yeah.
watchers and humans
Yeah.
make big humans.
Yeah. And he just, you know, he has all the attributes. He, you know,
He's just a big version.
lives for
Yeah.
hundreds and hundreds of years. He has the powers and the strength and, you know, that time knowledge. But he just isn't little. I don't know. That's interesting.
I think that my conclusion still, I come to the same conclusion no matter what we talk about on the show, it seems like, that historically, our Western culture seems to be the only one that doesn't talk about or believe in these sorts of things in a realistic way.
Yeah.
And even in modern times, different cultures still view them as real. In historical Western culture, they were real.
Yeah.
Only modern Western believes that they're not.
Right.
And that to me is a giant red flag.
Well,
why are we
assume
in our Western
everything is
culture the only
ghosts.
ones?
We assume everything that is weird is ghosts. Like you watch like Ghost Adventures, some of the places they go to, they hear things and see things, and I'm like, that is not a ghost. And like, there's a few of them where there's like folklore of like, you know, different creatures that live there, not ghosts. And, you know, they'll call it a spirit and call it a ghost and talk to the ghosts and talk to the spirits. But the locals don't see it as a ghost or spirit. They see it as some kind of cryptid, some kind of creature that lives there. And they have to offer up, you know, food and things to this creature to appease it. And, you know, you don't do that to ghosts. You know, so it's interesting. We see everything as ghosts and spirits, and maybe they're not.
So what? But why is so the concept of the ghost is that they would be deceased humans.
Yeah.
Why is it easier to believe that deceased humans are walking around our house than that there's an interdimensional being walking around our house?
Right. Yeah.
How is that easier to believe?
Yeah. And you know, the more we look into interdimensional and quantum science and things like that on this show, the more I start to look and go, well, maybe ghosts aren't what we think they are.
I don't. I've never believed. Well, not never. For a very long time, I have not believed in ghosts.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think that there are ghosts in the way that we, and I guess I should say,
in the
way that they are deceased humans. I don't believe in ghosts.
Yep.
I don't believe that humans pass away and then that their spirit stays and then teases people or anything like that. Now, could there be in significant moments, like let's say Gettysburg, that's a very significant human battle that plays out.
Yeah.
I could see there being like a scar on the, I don't know how to explain.
There seems to be a difference between like residual energy and an actual like intelligence to it. There's a total difference with something just playing on rewind and just playing on repeat. There's a totally different feel, totally different vibe when something is just playing on repeat because something bad happened.
Right.
And an intelligence.
And I think that the energy on repeat, I don't think that is a soul.
No.
I don't think that there's anything living.
You can't
I think
interact
it's
with
just
it. You can't. Yeah. It's just like a movie replaying. Yeah.
At best, that's what it is. Yeah. At worst, it's just simply demonic things trying to reenact it, try to get you enticed.
Yeah. Try to pull you in.
I could see that as well. But I could see there being such a significant moment that it scars. Yeah. I don't know how to explain it, but it scars the spiritual world as well. Right. And so that there's just energy there. I could see that. I mean, I could believe in that, but I can't believe that a human soul, once they pass, is just like stuck here. You know what I mean? And I'm just gonna live in this house that I've always lived in. You know?
Yeah. Which is interesting because, like, when I was looking at the Nisse, there a few of those cultures believe that when somebody died, when a family member died, they did stay in the house as Anissa, as a little gnome-looking thing. You know, I thought that was interesting. So,
Which, yeah,
similar to old school ghost stories, but yeah, I don't know. Interesting.
But so yeah, with that, don't forget to like and subscribe. I say it every week, but it really does make a difference. Like, I don't think you even realize, like, I can see the analytics and I know when people actually take the time to like an episode, and I see, oh, this episode has more likes than the previous one.
Yeah.
We have like double the listens.
Yeah.
The system, the way the algorithms work, Courtney and I've been looking a lot into like TikTok algorithms and what it takes to get something to receive views. And the number one thing on all things is interaction. How long do people watch your video? Do they watch the whole thing? If they watch the whole thing, it gets boosted. If they interact with it, they like it, they comment, it gets boosted.
Yep.
And if they share it, not right off the bat. So like at this late in the episode, if you share it now, it has a bigger impact than if you just pop into it and you share it. Because if you just pop into it, share it, it just seems like you're sharing it because you want to support the person.
Right.
Not the content.
Not the
if you
actual
share at
content,
the end, it comes off as though you enjoyed the content enough, you think of people and you want to share it. So it boosts you in the algorithm. So seriously, it really does help. Share it with that person that you know that they won't be offended that you shared them the episode, even though you know they're not going to listen to it.
Yeah.
Just share it with them. It really does help us a lot. And outside of that, don't forget to be your BA best and have a very, very
and Camden,
Merry
thanks for being on the
Christmas.
show. It was fun having you.
Yeah, it was an experience. Yeah, that's for sure.
That's one way to describe it.
I was definitely nervous on my way up here.
Yeah.
So I've never really been on. I've only listened to podcasts, never been on one.
Right.
So it was interesting.
I feel like your first time on a podcast, you tend to not talk a whole lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
And then I feel like your second time, you feel comfortable going into it and you know what to expect. So you do a little more research.
Yeah.
And then you have more things to say.
Right. Yep.
But
I don't know anything
you got your
about
foot in the door.
elves
So
up to this point, so.
I just want you
And
to know.
sometimes it's fun to just pop in and not know anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
And
be
just
there.
learn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But next time, I want you to talk about something you're interested to talk about.
You already
What
know
are you
I'm-
interested in?
Double E stuff. You already know that.
So explain to listeners what double E
The
is.
electrical engineering stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, he loves math and electricity and
Maths.
electrical math and
I'm gonna give you next time you come on the show. I'll give you 10 minutes
I've
to
been
nerd
doing
out.
research on like how much power the body actually produces in like watts and such, which is pretty interesting.
So I know what we're going to talk about next time you come on the show. If we know, we can plan it out. If you're like over break, if you're going to be on the show again, we'll talk about The Matrix.
yeah,
Oh,
that'd
okay.
be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I have a theory.
I like it. I
I have a theory about it.
I have a
it'll be
theory I
fun.
came across too the other day. So
We're not going to spoil it.
Yeah, no.
Maybe that'll be our next, the next time we get together. Because we have an episode for next, so it'll be a couple
And the stuff
weeks. But
Camden's working on like is very Matrix type stuff.
let's do
that
it. That'll be the
direction.
next
I like
topic. I'm posting it in the. I have to if I don't comment it while we talk about it, because how many times we talk about what we're going to talk about next week,
Yeah.
and then we all forget.
Yep.
But Cam, you have to come if we're going to talk about the Matrix,
Okay.
because I want you
We'll
to
save it until you're here.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll be here for a while.
deal.
At least I will. Yeah.
Few weeks.
Yeah, a few weeks.
Yeah. Okay, bye.
Bye.
In the ancient days of giants, when the earth was wild and free, a creature roamed the valleys, cloaked in mystery. Is he born of angels' blood and man, a Nephilim so tall, or a shadow of the fallen, yet heeding the Maker's call? He's a biblically accurate Bigfoot, with a lineage from the skies. Not a myth or legend, but a truth that never dies. Is he a remnant of the Nephilim, a titan standing tall? Or does he have the word of God upon him, the last to hear the call?